a lot of people, they don't like to invest or in stocks because they think it's too time consuming. And
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I don't want to look at stocks at all. I don't want to look at the charts. I tried day trading. It made me so sad. I don't want to do that at all.
That's sad.
Yeah, I just want a way to put my money somewhere and have it grow. So index funds are
And
great
that's
because
ETFs index. Yes, sir.
and ETFs, yeah,
I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag.
What's up? You are now listening to FY Fly the podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna give me a bag. I'm tryna.
What's up, my FY Fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FY Fly podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, aka the kid that did and the man that can, baby. And today, we're gonna be chopping it up with young personal finance enthusiast, serial entrepreneur, and viral sensation, Mr. Angelo, aka the Profit Plug. How are you, bro?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we're here on FY Fly. And what we usually like to do, we like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff, man. So when we did talk at FinCon, you said you were still in college at San Diego State. And I want to get your opinion, like from your time there at undergrad, what would you say is like college students' biggest issue when it comes to money?
I would say college students' biggest issue is honestly just not caring about it. A lot of people don't really care about money too much which I get because they're really focused on, their academics, their social life, trying to get healthy, trying to get in the gym, or just really just trying to figure out what they even want to be and who they are. So I get it. It's hard to kind of focus on the nitty gritty, like the numbers, and people see it's boring, but it's super important to at least have a budget, just at least have an overview of where your money is going. And a lot of people, they get stressed about that. Like they look at their bank account and they wake up, they're like, oh, where did my money go? So they don't even know. But if they connect to an app, they write down stuff. They can literally see, oh, maybe I'm buying too much takeout. Maybe I'm buying too many drinks, or maybe I'm going out too much. And it's literally 100%. The smallest changes that will change their mindset to think more, being more cognizant about their finances. So it's kind of just people don't really care too much about it, and they don't really see the importance of it until they budget. So that's kind of what they need to do.
Bro, that is 100% facts, because when you think about it, we do have so much different things going on. We got parties, we got class, we got sports, we got this, we got that. But I want people to avoid that depressed feeling or that feeling of anxiety at the end of the month when you don't have the money, or when you're trying to do something and you're checking your phone and you want to see, you about to buy something, you about to buy some food, some takeout, and you like, hold on, let me check my account before I do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want people to avoid that, bro. So what budgeting method do you use? Do you track your expenses to the T, every day? How often do you keep up with your finances?
So I used to do it literally to the T. I used to have an Excel sheet. I used to also just attach it to an app and write everything down. I really wanted, in the beginning when I didn't have that much money, I really was just focusing on the importance of saving it. But nowadays, since that I kind of run my own business, I have more money. Yeah. Pretty much what I do is I'm just really cognizant about what I spend. But I'm pretty much a frugal person in general. I don't really go out too much. I cook everything. I don't really spend too much money. So now I'm just focusing on, I guess, going broke by investing. So I have no budget on investing or buying things that will help me out. But in terms of going out, buying clothes, I literally just try to limit that as much as possible. But I connect all my bank accounts to an app. So every once in a while I'll look at it, make sure I'm not spending way too much on food, make sure I'm not doing anything crazy. And then I have everything just automated for me. So that's why I try to tell everyone to do. You don't have to just write down everything on an Excel sheet. It doesn't have to be that hard. You can literally just automate everything, and then once in a while just look at it. Make sure you're not going too hard on buying food, or you're not buying too many clothes. It's literally just the simple things that will start like a domino effect, and it'll make you just way better financially.
Bro, did you say going broke on investing? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like I have like
That's
no
fire.
budget on investing. Yeah.
That's fire. So like, if one of your friends at school came up to you and they have a high paying job, but they was like, hey man, you know, I don't really care about this financial literacy, this money management stuff, you know, because I'm getting money. You know, what would be your response to them? Like, why should they care? Why does it even matter, basically?
Yeah, I think that's actually like a lot of like a that's like a lot of responses that I get to, or I get with like why people should care. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, what if I'll just get like a high paying job or whatever. So it's like a lot of people say that, but I don't think people don't really understand. Money comes and goes fast. You know, you're going to spend like 30 to 40% just on taxes. And if you're not really staying on top of it, you're going to drown. You're going to stay stagnant, and it's going to be too late once you realize it. So I would say, you know, congrats first. You're making money. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like
That's not the whole thing.
yeah, but like how stable, consistent it really is this high paying job. Like, are you sure that you're able to still retire early, or do you even want to, or are you going to need to keep working to maintain whatever lifestyle you're trying to have? Also, it's like, do you plan to have kids? You know, like what a 529 is. Are you going to? Do you want them to go to college, or are you just going to pay all in cash? Or like if you want even get a house, are you going to pay all in cash, or do you have a credit score? Are you going to get loans or stuff like that? Like, do you really just plan on just working all the time, trading your time for money? And also, like, what if you get an emergency? Do you have backup money? Do you have? What if you get in a car accident? What if you need to fly out on like a late notice to visit your family? Like, can you go on a trip and not worry about money? Like, there's so many things that could go wrong that you should prepare for. And if you're turning a blind eye to it, you open yourself up to so many scenarios where it could be detrimental to your financial, I guess, life and just life in general.
Bro, you know what I saw? I saw a statistic that said 70% of six-figure earners are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, how does that even correlate? How does that even make sense? Because there's a lack of financial literacy and money management, because we're making money, but we don't know how to manage that money because we were never taught. So that's why I think, you know, what we're doing is so important for our communities, because when you're exposed to more, then you're able to not only, you know, avoid certain instances, but now whenever you see like a big truck coming or something bad, you're able to get out the way. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't exposed to financial literacy, if you weren't exposed to credit, then that big truck is going to be covered and it's going to hit you smack dead on, and you won't have any idea of what it is, what to do, because you were never educated in financial literacy and money management.
Yeah, exactly. And like, things are always going to happen. Things are always going to hit the fan, and it's like, it's pretty inevitable. You're going to live life. Not everything is going to be just dubs. You're going to take an L a couple of times, and you should want to position yourself where you'll be okay. You know you're going to be okay, or you can at least turn around and take that L and turn it into whatever. You just really just want to. It's really just about positioning yourself better in life. And also, it's super important too that you mentioned our communities, because a lot of I guess like immigrants, minorities, they don't come from a lot of money. I know I didn't come from like a super affluent family. So when people like start making money, they get lifestyle inflation. They start buying new phones, they start buying the new clothes because they never had the chance to, which I totally get. I was always like that. But if you keep doing that, and that's why a lot of six-figure earners live paycheck to paycheck, is because they just start inflating their lifestyle. They buy the newest cars. Point, yeah, so it's important to know like how detrimental that really is. But like I wouldn't say like, yo, don't buy yourself maybe a new phone if you earn it, but like you should be cognizant about it, like how much you spend, and you shouldn't go overboard. And you should make sure that you're still, you know, you're actually still making money, because making money is the easy part. Keeping it and like stretching it is really the hardest part.
Facts. And I think that's where it goes back to having a budget, because if you're able to understand how much money is coming in, how much money you're probably going to have going out, then you're able to say, okay, I have this discretionary income right here
Exactly, yeah.
That I can now play with, go on trips. I can buy this. I can buy the new phone. So you avoid that lifestyle creep. Because when we don't know how much money we're making and we're making that inflated amount, then we just spend it willy-nilly. I'm like, bro, I'm so glad you brought that up because that is a huge problem. And it's even from, even the movies that we see coming up, when people get the bag, then they start spending all crazy, da-da-da-da-da. So I think lifestyle creep, lifestyle inflation for anybody listening, whenever you do start making that bag, like Angela said, congrats to you. But it's definitely more than just making. It's about how much you can keep.
Exactly. And also just for me too, I know right when like I started making a lot of money, I want to get the new phone. But right when I got the new phone, what else can I buy? I was never really truly satisfied. I was always on to the next thing. So I think that there's a quote, I think by Naval Ravikant, or I'm not sure, but I heard it from his podcast, where he talks about how people who are happy with what they have will enjoy a life way better than people who are just always going to the next thing. Because once it's kind of like chasing a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it's going to run away. If you keep kind of going for the next thing, you're really never going to be kind of happy. So it's kind of just like a good practice to have of just, chilling out, being happy, not always upgrading to the next thing.
Bro, and you mentioned your rise from as far as TikTok, from as far as YouTube and across multiple platforms. Like you said, over 1 million followers. And what is it, about a year and a half?
Around a year and a half. I think I'm going around 2 years now.
Okay, so about 2 years. So how did you handle that, rise, that quick rise to success and notoriety? How did you handle that being so young?
Through a lot of failures, to be honest. Through a lot of tough nights. My entire come up was basically a bunch of trials and tribulations. In the beginning, I started off through garage selling because I was going through high school kind of just like sleepwalking through classes. I didn't have any passions. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I honestly didn't even know who I was. I really was just, I was going into college as like a public health major because I wanted to go into like nursing because Filipinos are known to be nurses. So I'm like, I'll just do the stereotype because I didn't know who I really was.
Yeah.
But then I watched like this trash talk video from Gary Vee where he goes around garage sales and then he flips on eBay. Shout out Gary Vee.
Yeah.
And then one Saturday I went out and did it. And then I bought this like bubble blower for $1 and I sold it the next day on eBay for 15. And that kind of was like,
hold on.
Yeah, literally it was like a eureka moment. It was like, aha, I was like, whoa, I could turn $1 into 15 online. And I sold it in my sleep. I'm like, what else can I do? So then I went hard on that. I started doing that every weekend. And it was just honestly just really fun. It felt like a treasure hunt. Yeah. And then I went to college and I was still on like, oh, now I know what I want to do. I want to go into business. So I was able to switch my major to business. But then I was in college, so I had no car. I had pretty much nothing. I had skateboards. So I was trying to switch like my business model. And then I started selling books on Amazon. So I was going like back and forth from libraries to campus. I was buying books from students, literally on like a penny board. So I would like carry like 50 pounds of books on these IKEA bags going through campus. People were like calling me the book guy. But I was just so happy doing this because it was finally the one thing that I found that was, I guess, I was good at it and I enjoyed. So I was doing that, and the entire time I was posting it on social media. And like you just said, it was like a rise quick to fame. It really wasn't, I guess, if you take like the entire timeline, because it took me like 6 months to get 900 followers on my Instagram, and I was just posting all the time what I was doing, and I was pretty much just talking to myself, but it was really just for me to document everything. And then once I started getting more into like investing and personal finance, because now I was realizing like if I could turn $1 into $5 by reselling, how do I turn, $1 to $5 through investing? How do I minimize my expenses so I have more money to invest or to buy products? So then I started reading books and everything like that, watching YouTube. I used to watch a lot of Graham Stephan, Wall Street Trapper.
You naming them dudes. The
Millionaire Mindset. It was Xavier.
Miller, for sure.
Xavier Miller. I started just going deep into the world of money. And then as I was doing that, everything that I was learning, I was putting up online. I was making videos, making skits because I didn't know about it. So I was like, if I don't know about it, I'm sure there's other people that don't know about it. And I'm sure there's
Facts.
people that should know about it, or at least like should start thinking about it. So I started putting everything online. And at that time, there were not that many people talking about like personal finance or money. Like my parents never talked about it. There were
Hmm.
not that many YouTubers or I guess creators talking about it. You really had to like look for it specifically. You're not learning about anything about money in school. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll be the change. I'll be the change I want to see in the world. So I was putting everything online, and it took like a few months for me to get traction. And then
Uh-huh.
once it started getting traction, it went crazy from
It was
there.
on from there.
Yeah. But then how I like handled it was pretty much just going through all the motions and like failing a lot. So it's
Mhm.
not like it was a squeaky clean. I didn't do everything. I didn't make all the right choices. I made probably a
Yeah.
lot more of the wrong choices. I took way more L's than I took dubs. But the
Mhm.
good thing about being an entrepreneur, I guess, being this young, is I can just learn from it and then run with it. So all of my L's,
Facts.
pretty much, I learned from it and became a better person.
One of my guests said, "You got to fail forward. You got to
Yeah.
fail forward." And I think that for anybody listening, I think the biggest thing that I took from your story was when you were in high school, like you said, you felt kind of lost. You didn't really know who you were. You didn't know
Hmm.
where you wanted to go. So for the young folks listening, I think it's very important that you hear Angelo say he's tried things, he's tried many businesses and failed, but then he found the reselling business, and that kind of gave him some purpose. That kind of gave him some passion
Hmm.
behind something. So I think for everybody listening, go out there and try these different things, especially with the
Yeah.
internet now. We have a lot more resources and a lot more, opportunities that are available to us. We just have to go out there and try them. So I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing that I want people to take away is try out these different things and, fail forward basically. And I think, I want to get your opinion on why do you believe that this entrepreneurship route is so important for, young folks, so important for anyone looking to become financially free and financially independent. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I think entrepreneurship in general is important just to becoming more fulfilled and free in general. And
Mm,
because it really just allows you to explore yourself and try everything. If you're just doing like a 9 to 5 or you're just sticking to your major,
yeah.
that's it. That's the path you're taking until like you switch or whatever. But entrepreneurship, I could start a daycare if I wanted to. I could make a book. I could make videos on physics. I can do whatever I want. And
Facts.
it's kind of just like, and I feel like that's what a lot of people struggle on, especially young kids or young kids, young people like myself.
For sure.
We don't really know who we are. We don't really know what we like, and life's a marathon. You want to make sure you're doing what you're happy about, what makes you happy and
Mhm.
passionate about. And entrepreneurship kind of gives you the ability to follow your dreams and make money from it, but also in
That's a
terms
great
of being
point.
financially independent to become, or I guess to make a lot of money or become like free, you need like ownership. You need piece of a business. You need to
Come
be
on
able to
now.
make money while you sleep because you don't have that much time. You have 24 hours in a day, a third of it spent working, another third of it spent sleeping. You really
Mhm.
don't have that much time. And when you're able to make money while you sleep, you're able to pretty much buy back your time. You're able
Gosh.
to spend the time that you would want to, spend with your family. You can spend time doing things that you actually love and becoming, a happier person. But you can't
Yeah.
really do that if, 9 to 5 you're working somewhere, or if you're just, you're stuck and you're not doing something you love. So entrepreneurship kind of gives you a
Mm.
way to do that, also get paid for it.
Facts. Facts, bro. And we've touched on entrepreneurs, we've touched on employees, but I want to make sure that we show them that whatever route they decide to take, there's still a road to financial freedom. There's still a road to
Oh yeah.
riches. So I saw that we both are huge proponents of index funds and ETFs.
Oh
Those are
yeah.
my favorite investments. So let's chat a little bit on why you feel like those are mandatory for our listeners, man. What you think about those?
Yeah, well, yeah, I love index funds. I pretty much all that I invest in. And I would say it's really good for most people because it is a really it is a less risky investment, and you can automate it too. And you can look
Yes.
back into history and diversify all your risk with just one click of a button. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, they don't like to invest or in stocks because they think it's too time consuming. They don't want to research, they don't want to look at charts. And
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I don't want to look at stocks at all. I don't want to look at the charts. I tried day trading. It made me so sad. I don't want to do that at all.
That's sad.
Yeah, I just want a way to put my money somewhere and have it grow. So index funds are
And that's
great
ETF
because
index. Yes, sir.
any tips, yeah, like SPY is example. You're diversified into 500 of the top largest companies in New York Stock Exchange, and on average, it's like 8 to 10. It goes up 8 to 10%. And if you just automate like a few $100s every month into that,
Yeah.
you will retire a millionaire. Like it's that simple. You literally will pretty much, not financial advice, but you're more likely to retire a millionaire, and you will actually beat almost 95% of people in the stock market if you just invest in index funds.
And you know what they call into index funds and ETFs? They call them the lazy way to become a millionaire.
The lazy way to millionaire. And honestly, I'm all for it because I want all of the risk, I guess, and all of the anxiety to be into my businesses. Like I want to have all my focus into the business, and I want my investments and all my stock markets to be automated and stress
Mm-hmm.
free. So that's
Big
why I really
facts.
like index funds, because it allows me to, I guess, use my mental energy somewhere else where I don't have to worry about the stock markets. I don't have to check all the time. I know my money's working for me, and I don't have to be stressed about it.
Bro, when I found out about index funds and ETFs, because my first investment was my junior year. Dad, he showed a whole bunch, a stock magazine for the year, like the best stocks. So I went in
Hmm.
there, I picked the best stocks that I thought of, and man, it was like 2 months later, and I'm like, dang, I'm still not a millionaire. Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still not a millionaire. So I kept those stocks for, I would say, about a year. And then my senior year, I was in an investment analysis class. And I found out about ETFs, which are just groups of stocks. You know, I'm sorry I didn't say that in the beginning before we started talking about ETFs.
Oh yeah.
But ETFs are just groups of stocks compared to investing into an individual stock. So once I found out about ETFs, I'm like, man, this not a little too good to be true. I could invest into 500 of the best stocks, and then
Hmm.
when one stock drops or isn't doing well, they'll automatically replace it, and I ain't got to do it. That's a win.
It's the best because that way too you can literally just focus on different things, and especially for people, as you mentioned, who do work 9 to 5, you don't have that much time or mental energy to be looking up stocks. Like it'll be so hard. I know I'll be tired. I don't know if I could do it myself. So this is a great way for you to have your money work for yourself and have it automated too. So it's
Facts.
it's, it's literally one of the best investments that I could ever say.
Man, I'm with you 100%, man.
Yo, are you ready to hit your next level? Do you want to increase your drive, destiny, and dollars? Well, if so, check out my new book, From College to COVID, 24 Lessons Learned During the Lockdown, where I've compiled 5 of the biggest lessons I learned going from college to COVID to starting my financial literacy empire, FY plus 19 lessons from your favorite entrepreneurs, entertainers, and athletes that have been featured on our show. There's literally something for everyone. So purchase your copy today at fyfly.com/from college to COVID. Let's go.
And since we're on this FinLit wave, bro, I want to ask you, because, you know, this is a show about financial literacy, which is not only understanding how to budget your money, but also being able to grow your money effectively and efficiently. So, bro, can you give us a good money habit that you have, and then also give us a bad money habit that you have, so we could cut it off?
So I mentioned this a little bit before, but I'm super frugal. Like I don't really spend that much money, which is kind of a habit that I had to work on. Like I had to really control my desire, my urges to buy the next new thing. Like I really had to work on that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm really glad that I that I worked on because yeah, I really don't spend too much money. I'm really
How
like
did you
frugal.
do that? If you don't mind me asking, like, how did you train yourself not to, especially, when your business took off and you making more money, how did you train yourself just to be, for, I guess it may be a little bit of that quote that you said earlier, being happy with what you have, or like, what was it
Hmm.
for you?
Well, yeah, it kind of has to do with the quote. It's a lot of I read a lot about like philosophy, and I'm really into like I guess that kind of that genre. So I read a lot about philosophy. I got really into Buddhism, and so it talks a lot about I guess staying grounded, staying like the middle path, not going too far up or too far down. So that's why I
Mm,
try my best to be, I guess, in the middle ground of everything. So I don't want to buy
mm,
too much, or I don't want to also starve myself too. So I try to
finding that
work
balance.
that, yeah, find that balance. I try to work that into my everyday life. So I don't
Mm,
want to like work too much where I'm getting burnt out, but I also don't want to take too much breaks where I'm not doing anything, or I don't want to gorge myself with food, but I also don't want to like starve myself. So it's all about kind of
facts.
finding that balance, and that kind of just translated into my buying habits because now I'm
Mm,
just super happy with whatever I have, and it just really helps me keep my budget down.
got you. Got you. Okay, okay. Hey, but we ain't forget about the bad money habit. What was that one? I know you.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of where it contradicts. I
uh,
love spending money on food, kind of like expense like nice food, like fine dining, like
okay.
I guess like I love finding like new places to go to, like new restaurants,
Mm,
trying new foods. So I really have no budget on food, to be honest. Like think of it
okay.
as an experience. So whenever somebody invites me to like a dinner, I'll be like, okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of contradicts itself. But yeah, I love spending money on food because it really is an experience for me. But that's like
Mm.
kind of one of my guilty pleasures. I'm allowed one vice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bro. You most definitely. And
Yeah, all about
I
balance.
and I want to the people listening that can for surely relate because I can relate to you as well with that. We're using the money as a tool. Don't
Hmm.
feel bad. You need to feel bad if you're spending your last on an experience or you're spending your last on something that's not an emergency fund just in case, something goes crazy. But whenever you understand your money is that tool to keep you safe. It's that tool so you can go out and have fun. It's that tool to have an emergency fund. It's the tool to make sure you have a roof over your head. I like to say that, a budget is not a life restrictor. It's a life enabler. It enables you to do
Mm,
the things that you want to do, that you enjoy, the things that you need to do. You know what I
hmm.
mean? So I think that's not a guilty pleasure, not a vice, man. I just you understand that you love eating out, you love eating at nice
Yeah,
places, you love experiences, so you can put that into your budget. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
that's what you actually love to do, and there's nothing wrong with
yeah.
that.
And because I budget a lot, or I know where my money is going, I do allow myself like I have money every month where I'm allowed to like I can go out to go watch movies, I can go hang out with my friends,
Yeah.
I can do these experiences because yeah, I'm not gonna tell people to just be money sticklers, never spend money, never buy food because that's not really me. But as soon as you know how much money you have, how much money you can spend, that's when you can really like or that's where you should be to be able to like treat yourself. And you should treat yourself. You should be able to, or you should work on having enough money to be able to treat yourself, to enjoy
Mhm.
life, while
100%.
also not going broke.
That's the key. That's the
That's
key.
the key. It's
So,
always
bro.
finding a balance.
So, bro, you know, I've waited to ask this question, or I'm actually more excited to ask this question to have somebody around my age that's in school right now, because what we're doing out here on social media for our generation, for our audience, is huge. Because there's so many different negative things on social media, and even people seeing from a psychological standpoint of seeing their friends fly out to Belize, seeing their friends go to the
Yeah.
Bahamas, seeing their friends pulling up in a new Hellcat, Dodge Charger, something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted
Hmm.
to get your opinion on, how do you feel that social media is impacting our generation's spending habits, when it comes to constantly being exposed to everything that everybody's doing at, any time?
Yeah. Social media, in my opinion, just makes it really easy to, I guess, feel jealous or envious about one another, because it's really easy to really polish your lifestyle. It's super easy just post, the highlights, to post, you going to places. It's really easy, and it's really easy for us to feel that way because you're seeing it. And I think that to our spending habits, or just in money in general, it really polarizes a lot of people, which is really sad to see, because I see people who are starting businesses, who are doing amazing things, get hated on, getting called like evil, or people are just clowning on them. And then I also feel people I see people on the other spectrum who like glorify, I guess, like going out all night or spending like thousands of dollars on things they don't really need. And it really just polarizes it and makes people, I guess, geared towards one of the sides. And it's really hard for people to like be logical about it, to be like, okay, that's their lifestyle. That's not me. That's not really realistic. I need to focus on like my situation. So it's hard for people to, I guess, focus more on themselves, because there's just so much of everyone around you. And again, it's really easy to feel envious. It's super easy. And social media just enables it.
Agreed, bro. Agreed. And the thing that I want people to understand, and I believe you touched on it earlier. You did. We talked about longevity. We talked about longevity, and that's the key, because from what I'm seeing with, me graduating high school in 2016, me graduating college in 2020, the same people that were popping then, they ain't popping now. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's bigger than, it's more about longevity than for you to be popping, for 1 year or 2 years, or even taking school out of it. Going back to last year with the PPPs and the stimulus, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was traveling. Everybody was popping out. You know what I'm saying? But now that we're a year away from that, we're in a recession, people aren't, we're not seeing the same vibes from people that they were, maintaining or trying to maintain last year with that stimulus or with that PPP money or with their refund checks. So I think the biggest thing is to understand your situation, and then also do something that you can sustain and maintain. Don't try to burn out and go crazy, go the hardest for 1 year, and then you not be around for the next 2 years. Like that's worthless, basically. You know?
Yeah. Life really is a marathon. He was not kidding when he said that. Life really is a marathon. If you take that mindset to everything, you're gonna go into every situation just more prepared, more able to take up any opportunity that comes your way, because you are thinking long term, and you're thinking anything could happen at any point. So I have to be ready. I have to be ready if something goes wrong. But if there's an opportunity that gets brought to me, I have to be ready for that too. So it's just kind of just knowing everything that, life is long if you know how to make it long. But you also have to you have to be in that mindset. You can't always just be next thing. I have to make a bunch of money, and then I have to fly out to I don't know, to Rome or anything like that, take a bunch of pictures like that, because it's not super realistic and it's not feasible for everyone. Those are just certain people that you saw because of social media. It's not that's not the average realistic situation for everyone.
Big facts, man. Big facts, man. So I have one more question for you, Angelo. I'm going to read you 2 quotes. I need you to tell me which one is more accurate in your opinion, all right?
I'm ready.
All right, bet. So the first quote is, more money, more problems, like Biggie. Second quote is, money can't buy happiness. Which one do you believe is more accurate in your opinion?
I think more money, more problems is definitely more accurate, but I would I would change it to more money, more responsibilities instead of problems. Because it's not really problems. It's just now you have more things on your plate. You have more things to do. Now you have to worry about, taxes, making sure you have enough to pay your taxes, and
Mm-hmm.
now you have more money. In order to get money, you have more knowledge about the money world, everything like that. So now you kind of open that field of possibilities. And now I can buy real estate. Now I can do like
Yeah.
life insurance. Now I can buy a laundromat or whatever. So then it's
Yeah.
more responsibilities, more, I guess, opportunity. But it's also like, it's kind of like the Spider-Man quote, great power comes great responsibility.
Come on,
That's
Uncle
kind of what it
Ben.
is. Yeah. So it's just,
Come on.
you have more responsibility because you have more, I guess, power when it comes to money. You have more opportunities. But again, with responsibility comes headaches, comes, I guess, burden. Because there's another
Mm-hmm.
quote, one of my favorite quotes by Shakespeare. It's, heavy is the head who wears the crown. So it's when you're given that responsibility, you will feel a burden, but it's not necessarily bad. Like, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. So I would say
Got you.
more money, more responsibility. But I think the money can't buy happiness is an interesting one, because, or I don't think it's true, because I think money to a certain degree can buy happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Or because I talk about this in a post of mine where I was able to actually buy my parents a car through
Wow.
all the money that I was raising. And I've never made any purchase like that. I skateboard still, and I walk everywhere, but
Yeah.
I was at a point where I really felt like I needed, like, I felt not as like a good son. I felt like I didn't appreciate my parents enough, and I felt like I really wanted to do something special for them. And I'm not saying you have to buy a car for your parents to do that, but for me, I felt like the money that I made,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel way more fulfillment, way more happy that I provide my family, my parents, my sister, a safe car, affordable, something that they were already looking for. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to do something super nice to them. And that has made me more happy than making any amounts of money. It's just me doing something for my family, but also being in the position where I can buy my parents a car. Because I never thought
Made you happy.
in my life I'd be able
Yeah.
to do that. Because, like, wow, I can provide for my family at this age. I'm like, I am
Thanks.
as grateful and happy as I can ever be.
Yeah, bro. I saw a quote on Instagram, and it was like, money makes people happy, but people aren't giving it to the right people. They're not giving they're using their money for themselves, or they're using it, they're blowing it all at the strip club. You know what I'm saying? They not giving it. Come on.
Not
So
the
they
right
not
people.
giving it. Come on, man. They're not giving it to the right people, the people that, that money will actually make an impact and a change in their lives. So I love the example that you gave, because it not only made your parents happy, but it made you happy knowing that you were able to give them something of that stature at such a young age. So that's key as well, seeing that money, I feel like the quote, money can't buy happiness, money can't buy joy. Money can't buy that internal joy that someone has or someone doesn't have. But I definitely do believe it could buy, happiness from an outward standpoint as well. So I think that's huge, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Because they were my day ones. They literally supported me through my business. Like, they were actually helping me package boxes and helping me ship. So they were super supportive. And for me being able to, like, do something of, I guess, that degree to give back to them, it was the happiest I've ever been.
That's huge, man. That's huge, man. So thank you so much for joining us on the FY Fly podcast. If you got any final words, any final gems, let them know where to catch you, man. Go ahead.
Well, you can see me more, talk about my journey, my personal finance, and everything that I do to help me be more fulfilled and wealthier in life. My Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Profit Plug. I talk a lot about my personal life and my personal choices as a college student and as a serial entrepreneur that a lot of people could relate to or learn from my mistakes. So catch me out there.
Yes, sir. I love it. I love it, bro. Thank you so much again. And for everyone listening, take some of these gems, take some of these lessons that you can really stick with and apply them to your life. You may not get everything. Everything may not have been for you that you heard today, but those things that you can relate to, the things that you can actually implement into your life, do that, apply that, and implement it, and then watch your life change. Because what I believe, bro, it's about those small incremental habits that will lead to big results over time. So again, thank you everyone for listening. I need y'all to stay safe, stay invested, and stay FY fly. We'll see you next week.
Thank you all for listening to FY Fly, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guests. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI Fly Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly.